Hello, hello. Happy Friday. We have a special guest with us today, Joseph. Thank you so much for joining. And
Thank you for having
since
me.
since you also know Sean, we're going to make him stick around today
Yeah,
too.
well, I know.
So.
We got to keep this guy under control, man. I tell you, get some
Joe, it's so good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. It's great to see you too. It's so nice to be here and see all my old friends again. It's funny because we all have history except for me and Jared, but I mean, Rye, we've known each other for it's I was thinking about it this morning. It's been a decade plus.
Yeah, it's been a good run. Yeah,
And Amy we met in 2019. And
Almost a
so,
decade.
yeah, so it's been, yeah, almost a decade. And Sean, we've known each other for a couple of years now. It's
Yeah, it's
three,
been
four
about 3
years.
years now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really nice. It's great to join you guys. I'm really happy to be here and talk collectibles.
yeah. It's we've been trying to do more of that, and as we always say, we get tired of hearing ourselves talk. So it's good to bring some people in from the community, and they can kind of pepper us with whatever questions they'd like. So, yeah, man. Anything you want to talk about today? The floor is yours. You can hit us with whatever you want.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I mean, first, I want to thank you guys for everything that you've done so far. I mean, it's been a great business model. I was thrilled when you started a couple years back that you decided to go the route of, not taking everybody's money up front
Yeah,
and
right.
then making people wait years for stuff. The pieces that you've done have been absolutely incredible. Everything is top notch quality. I mean, some of the best, like that grapnel gun. I said it, and I know Adam Savage said it on his. It's like probably one of the nicest produced prop replicas I've ever held in my hand. The way it feels, the way it's machine. I mean, it feels like a real piece, and because of that, very excited for all the stuff that's coming. Like, and was hoping to talk to you about today some of the Blade Runner stuff and some of the Tron stuff, and hopefully, given your new license, and yeah, just thrilled with everything so far.
Well,
You are
thank
so
you. That's too kind. Thank you.
Yeah, of
Means a
course.
lot, man, because I know you, and we're going to show some of your collection as we go, right? Sean, you're gonna get some pictures, and we'll share some of Joseph's stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
It's high praise when you say things like that. Anybody who's familiar with your collection, anybody who knows you, it means a lot. Thank you.
well, I've been collecting for a really long time, and I think I have something from probably every company that's ever been out there. And I do, there's the pieces, the produced pieces, like what you make. I do a lot of custom stuff. I work with model builders, prop makers. Do a lot of stuff that's, you know, unlicensed. I know I'm not probably not supposed to talk about that kind of stuff, but it's all just private artists, and working with them to do stuff. And yeah, so I can say it's some of the best pieces that I've seen to date. And one of the things I think is very important about a collectibles company, and I always say this, and you know, after Brian Ono passed away and EFX changed hands, I talked to some of the people that took over, and I said, look, there are three things you need to do to be a good collectibles company. You have to produce a high quality product. You have to deliver the stuff that you say you're going to deliver to people, and you have to communicate with your customers, right? Don't just leave them in the dark for months and months and months with no communication. If you can do those three things, you'll be a successful company, and the people in the community will love and appreciate you and support you. And so far, you guys have done all three of those things and done it well. And you've seen the companies that have failed, right? Like Chronicle, Anovos, and just, the list goes on and on. And they failed because they dropped the ball on one of those things, or if not more of those things. So, keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
just talking about that. We had Thomas on. We were doing another video just before you came on, which may or may not ever see the light of day, as often goes he's on. But we were talking about just that when we started Paragon. It was very organic. He and I were just talking about. I was doing some work with another company, just doing some engineering work, as you know I've done in between my private things before Paragon came about. And it's like, hey, let's start a company. And let's not do all those things you just mentioned. Seems easy enough, right? You know, hey, have some decent communication. Don't promise what you can't deliver. Have some communication. And I was fortunate enough to have a good private run for a long time as a private builder,
Mhm.
within the community. And, I think I did like 3,500 individual pieces out of 125 different runs in 25 years. And so I met a lot of people in the community, saw a lot of guys who did what I do come and go. And you kind of learn what to do, what not to do, getting bloody in the trenches. And I always say, if you want to be around, I mean, sure, there's the guys who come and go. They're just thinking, how do I get to next year?
Right.
I think the appropriate way to look at it is I want to do this for the rest of my life. Therefore, I want to keep my nose clean. I want to do this. You don't do unto others, right? Don't do all the crazy shit that people do to you. Like, hey, take my money and then not talk to me for 3 years. Give some updates along the way, and people are pretty patient. So no, we were fortunate to be able to start and just that was pretty much our model. Let's just keep it clean. Let's not finance. Let's not use one run to finance the next run, because usually
Right.
people are just terribly underfunded when they start. They have no money, and then it's that almost a built-in self-imposed Ponzi scheme that people get involved with. Like, and they're always Babe Ruth in it, right? Pointing to the bleachers. This one's going to be the one. This is the run that's going to
Yeah.
make the money. That's going to dig us out of the hole. What a blessing that we don't do that. That and as we've said in other videos about as far as we'll go, and it was by demand, was people do want to register their interest. They want to, hey, my hands in the air. I want this. I don't want to have to chase it on the secondary market in the event that it sells out. Whatever. Can I do a reserve? So we will
Right.
do a soft reserve, and of course, if people want out of it for whatever reason, nobody's ever trapped in a run with us. We're sure we'll refund you now.
Right.
We don't need anybody's cash that bad. And again, that's a blessing. And 3 years on, we think we're carving a pretty good niche. We got a pretty good base of collectors, like you who have found us, and they trust in us to land the stuff we talk about. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
It seems the common sense way of doing things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's talk about some of the fun stuff.
All right. Go.
So, I've been hitting you up for, with this question for years. So, and I know you're getting closer on some of I know you guys did the Blade Runner blaster, the Deckard blaster, but I've been very excited about the K blaster and Love's blaster. And I noticed, was it yesterday you guys dropped, actually two people already sent me messages and were like, did you see what Paragon posted, the working, the trigger
Yeah.
mechanism? And yeah, so people are very excited about it.
Yeah. Everybody was due an update. Everyone's been so patient. We always say, we've released a lot of Blade Runner 2049 stuff. We've done the spinner emblem, the hero blaster, the water blaster. A lot of people don't even realize we offered extra grips. If you want root beer grips, you want black stunt grips. Those we do need to put those up soon because we haven't talked about them in a while. And we still have some. We did those. We did the model kit. There's been a ton of stuff, and we try to pace these things out. Now we've got the broken emanator, the hero emanator. This was a long agreement up front. It was a 3-year deal, and then we renewed it because we knew we wanted to do a spinner, a studio scale spinner, which we're working hard on. And then, of course, to your point, we wanted to do K and Love's gun. So as we tell people, a lot of times people get itchy and they're like, "What are you guys ever going to make this thing?" We do have to space some stuff out. We do have to intentionally give the market room to breathe. And back to not taking money up front, we don't have to make excuses for the delays or the perceived delay. Like Kay's gun, It's right on schedule and proceeding as planned. Now, other people might proceed, oh, yeah, talked about it forever. What's the holdup? It's not that. It's all by design. And in being able to
Right.
take our time with it, we were able to let our engineers, our partners overseas, spend a minute and say, hey, we want this to do that. And how much metal can I get into it? Because you also want to you want to get it just right. Not too hot, not too cold. You want that perfect mix to where it's still affordable too. So our goal is to get a lot of metal in it. That cold to the touch feels right when it's in your hand and does what you see it doing in your mind's eye. And in this case, you've got your light on the side that everybody knows about. And then of course, through by way of the auction and videos that have been on YouTube and everything, people now know the slide at the top, how it moves back and forth. So yeah, that was a nice way of saying thanks for being patient. And we sometimes hesitate to put stuff out there like that when we're showing, hey, this is 3D printed. So people see it in white plastic and they're like, oh, is this going to be, what is this going to, they don't always read what we put in there, that this is just an engineering prototype. It's just, it's a proof of concept to show the feature, what we want it to do. Of course, it's going to light up. We're hoping we can build a little dermal touch into it where it lights up, little things like that. But it's a nice peek of, sure, things to come. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it. We're excited about it. We've had really good feedback. In fact, surprisingly so. I mean, we knew people wanted Case Blaster, and a lot of people ask about Loves too. And as we've said before, we try to get our prop barometer dialed in. How many of these are we going to make? So it is going to be, especially with the state of tariffs and everything right now, we're going to play it a little safe, and there will be low production numbers on those. I mean, when I say low, I mean under 500 pieces. We haven't set it yet, but it'll be less than 500 on each of those, probably closer to 350. And then so when we open up the reserves, we'll do what we always do. When we open the reserves, anybody who's on the interest list gets first right of refusal, and that's why it's important to be on our mailer, watch these videos. And we'll be introducing a collector's program very soon in the next couple of weeks, where we're going to start very much like you would get from any other retailer. We're going to incentivize by way of your purchases, discounts towards more stuff. So we just don't know what to call it yet, but it'll be a collector's club, a program. We'll figure out something cool to call it, and we'll introduce that very soon. And then all the things that go with it. Yeah, because a lot of our products, again, back to the tariffs that we've spoken to in our last couple of videos, we even put a notice up the other day. To make this thing work, we give up a pretty hefty percentage when we offer these things to other retailers. The margins aren't there to continue doing that. So we're going to, with the state of things, it's either press pause and don't do anything and wait and see what happens, or we bob and weave and we move with this weird ass thing we're all enduring right now. So we're going to, the larger items, of course, when you see like the oxygen destroyer, K's gun, any substantial limited piece, those are only going to be made available DTC, direct to customer from us.
Well, that's, everything's readily available through Paragon. I mean, it's easy to order through you guys, and
yeah. It's just, some people have different incentives, points when they buy through their favorite, whether it's Sideshow or, Big Bad or whatever. And we realize people are loyal, and we're happy to have a product out there no matter how you get it. But we do want to incentivize a little bit. We want to say, hey, look, we get it, and this is what we're going to do for you. We understand you're going to be, if you want it, you're going to have to buy it straight through us with regard to those big ticket items. And here's what we're going to do for you. So there'll be more on that later soon.
Okay. So big question then. You mentioned it. It's only because you mentioned it.
I know.
The spinner studio model.
Ah.
So do we have one? Is there any? Well, I guess for the viewers, you should probably tell them what size that's going to be. And then two, do you have any updates in terms of anything you're willing to share, and estimated timeline?
I think we can run with it pretty good. I'm going to let Jared take it from here, because he's so Jared and I both are project managers within Paragon. I'm pulling double duty as art director and everything. But Jared also designs right along with me, and this one is one that he is specifically overseeing and taking care of. I mean, I throw in where need be, but he's got it by the ears pretty good. So, Jared, you want to talk about that one? Where we are on the spinner? Just
Yeah,
not share. I mean, we might not want to drop names, but
yeah. So we're looking at replicating one of the two motion control miniatures that was used in the filming of it, and this one specifically is the 18-inch version. Sorry, the 1/12 scale version, which is about 18 inches long.
Okay.
It's commonly referred to as the 1-footer, even though that's way off of its measurement. But everybody tends to refer to it as the 1-footer model. And the second one was a 6 scale model, which is referred to as the 4-footer. Enormous. It would be extremely difficult to make something that large. So we are looking at the 18-inch version, and we've actually engaged a couple of very well-known visual effects artists in the field. Again, I don't want to drop names right now, but one of them is, he works at a very well-respected studio. And another one of the people that he is talking to, he's filming with, actually worked on the original film in '82. And even though we are replicating a scaled version as seen in Blade Runner 2049, it's the same spinner seen in the original '82 version.
Mm-hmm.
We're just bringing it to life as a motion control collectible based on that 1/12 version of it. And we've got all the modeling work on it done. Where we're at now on it is, like I said, engaging these two model makers to help us dial in the lesser known details, because that model that we're replicating is by far the most poorly documented version of it. There's just not a lot of reference out there for it. So what is known and what can be adjusted on the model that we've created so far is we're in that phase right now. And in fact, I'm going to probably this afternoon or tomorrow morning, I'm going to be talking with one of these guys just to go over very, very specific details on where we push, where we pull, where we change some geometry to make it really reflective of that 1/12 scale miniature.
There was a kit that was produced years ago by Randy Cooper.
Yep.
It was kind of a garage kit of that spinner, and I don't know what references he used or how accurate his is, but it's a beautiful kit.
Yeah, and he did that in 1/12 scale also. So
Yeah.
that was about 18 inches long.
And then last year, I believe it was last year, I went to Wonderfest.
Mhm.
And they have all the all these model builders build and bring their their showpieces. And Bill George came to Wonderfest, and he brought two spinner they were the red one and the yellow one that were the background ships.
Oh, okay.
And they're fantastic. I mean, they were beautiful models. I have pictures of them, and I can send them to you guys if you want to add them to the end of the show. But it turns out he made the original models for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so he replicated the pieces that he had made. And then the crazy thing is, right after that, I believe Prop Store, or it was one of those auction houses, had the original studio model, the red one, and was selling that. And I think Bill went and saw it, and he saw his old model that he had built. And
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Nice. I've never been to Wonderfest. I really want to go one of these years. I threaten to every year, and I never.
Yeah, we
It's
keep
my
talking.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with Jared. As we try to do more, we're trying to do more and more shows.
Mhm.
Wonderfest always bubbles to the top. We keep talking about it, and we'll probably try to make it next year. I mean, it'd be a great excuse to go.
Yeah, it's my one non-negotiable for the year.
Oh, wow.
That's the one thing I have to go to. Yeah.
Aw.
All the other, because so many of my friends go, so it's a huge, like a reunion every year where you get to see everyone.
Yep.
And last year we took a group photo outside of a restaurant, and there's more than 50 of us, right, standing in this big group of people. Yeah, it's crazy. So
Yeah.
it's wonderful. And in fact, Wonderfest for me is more about that than it is about the models. I mean, everybody brings their models and stuff, but it's all the time that we spend going out for drinks, going to restaurants, spending time with each other. That's the fun part of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the spinner may be the reason for us to go. I mean, a primary
Mhm.
reason. Be great. But I think when people find out who's involved, what all we're doing, I mean, this isn't a best guess. We're
Mhm.
taking it serious. So we plan to do a lot more studio scale models in the future. So if this is our marquee level entry into that, yeah, we want it to be everything it could be. And again, just it's great being able to take our time. Yeah, if we just showed that coming soon photo and started taking cash, that's when you're under the gun and you start making concessions and
Right. But I'm
before you.
assuming it's going to have all the lighting and the. Okay,
Yep.
good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's
yeah,
what really brings these models to life. So
Yeah, we
yeah.
really want this to be you take it out of the box, maybe connect it to the base and do a few other steps, but it's an out of the box, ready to go display piece.
yeah,
I know a lot of people like Wonderfest people. They want to build their model kits and make them, but I always
that's
plan
a
to do
lot.
that. Yet
For
I have a
most
bunch
people,
of,
can't do that. Yeah,
yeah. I always say I'm going to do the same thing, but I have a bunch of unfinished models, everywhere.
yeah,
So I having the option where you can just take it out, display it, and it's good to go. I think a lot of people are
right.
going to be thrilled by that.
Yeah. Oh, I certainly will be.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
like building, but yeah, if I have to build it, it'll never get done.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm
yeah,
glad you brought it up. We haven't talked about it a whole lot, but we've been making a lot of progress with it. And of course, it's just one of those things. We keep getting the tap tap. You guys, where are you guys on this
Mhm.
studio scale? And
Yeah,
we're excited about that one. That's kind of we plan to round things off there. We will have
Mhm.
made just about everything well, I shouldn't say that because I mean it'll. Uh, I almost messed up. We're really
Can I
looking
make a
forward
suggestion?
to
If
the
there's
model.
anything else you're looking to make from Blade Runner,
Yeah, go ahead.
see if you can work with Johnny Walker and make the bottles, the whiskey bottles that they made. I know they made them when the movie came out. Johnny Walker did a limited run of them, but
Yeah,
yeah,
they're super rare now. They go for a lot on eBay.
that's the
Yeah,
problem.
I,
There is a company that makes the glasses, but the bottle is
Oh,
yeah,
those squared glasses.
yeah,
yeah.
Seen those?
yeah. I almost messed up. Um, I almost said something. There's one item I love from the
Say it,
Blade Runner.
Rye. Say it.
No, I can't. I can't. I will say this: the Voight Cop machine.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
in our line plan, and we talk about it. And I haven't even brought you up to speed on it, Jared. Uh, I stumbled across. It just came up in conversation the other day. I don't want to tease too hard with that. I'd love to see that happen. I'll say that.
Wait, are
So
you
if,
doing
if
the 2049?
this would be no the what you
The
know as
original.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Um,
very nice.
without getting into the details of how and where and what we can farm from Blade Runner within our
Mhm.
agreement, um, uh, that's just a piece I've always loved, as most diehards. Um, but the classic one, I'd love to see that happen. And what I was fumbling around with a second ago is if we ended this and with Kay and Love's Gun and the hero emanator, the broken emanator, and then
Mhm.
ultimately just wrapped up with the studio scale spinner, I'd be
Mhm.
content. I feel like, hey, mission accomplished. We landed the plane. If there was one other item to squeeze in there, I'd love to see the Voight comp
Yeah.
happen. Uh,
Well, I'm actually about to start a project with a model maker. I'm not going to mention any names, but we're going to be doing a Blade Runner blimp.
oh,
Oh,
that's fantastic!
Going
Did
to be a big. It's going to be a big one too. So
did you see the one on Tested? That I forget who worked on that. What her name was?
yeah, Katie
But
Sabaker made that, and
fantastic.
it was based on a kit that was built by someone and was created by someone and sent to Adam, and then Katie built it. I'm working with the model maker who made that kit for them.
Was that Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we won't say his last name, but
Yeah. So,
well,
but the beauty is on this one,
His was
I
awesome.
managed to source the screens, the
Right.
projection screens, but I managed to get, because it's very hard to get 4:3 aspect ratio flat panel LCD screens anymore. They're always the 16:9. But I managed to get two of them, and they're 10 inches, and they're going to be on the side, and they're super thin. They have no bezel, so it's perfect for the model. So
Oh,
we're
nice.
scaling the whole ship to those 10-inch
Oh my gosh.
screens.
Pretty massive.
Yeah.
And then Jason actually has all of the original, like, the footage
Oh,
Yeah.
that was projected. Now, remember, on the original model, that was all projection.
hmm
But in this case, we're just going to run it on the screens. So it's
Yeah,
going to be, I mean, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, that is such an ambitious project. Good for you guys. And
Yeah.
Jason's just so talented. I always say it.
Yeah.
Just he's just such a talented modeler and
We
builder.
just finished. Yeah, I sent Sean a picture of one we just finished, which is a 3-foot Millennium Falcon, but it's not it's not the production Falcon. It's based on Ralph McQuarrie's artwork.
Oh, I've been watching
So
him make that.
Yeah,
He just finished it a little while ago, right?
yeah,
Pull
that's
that up.
that's
That's
mine.
yours.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And,
Yeah.
That's the second one he did because he took one to Wonderfest a couple years ago. And
So basically, what happened is he had created that one. I did not see it in person. He sold that piece,
hmm
and I told him, I said, "Look, I've always loved that, and I want you to do one." He said, "It's funny because I want to do it again because now I have so much more skill in 3D design
hmm
that I can detail the, crap out of this one, and I totally want a second shot at it." So that's what this was. So
awesome.
so
Very
Sean, I sent Sean pictures of the original one and then also the one that we just finished. They're very, I mean, I love the original one, so they're very similar, but this one just has a lot more detail. And what we did on this one, which I'm very kind of proud of this, we were going to create the Ralph McQuarrie figures to go inside the ship.
Oh yeah.
But the problem is that, you have to sculpt these, and you have to hire a sculptor who would do this, and it would be incredibly expensive. And then a friend of mine was just like, "I don't know why you're spinning your wheels on this. About 10 years ago, Hasbro made 3 3/4 inch action figures that were the McQuarrie figures." And he said, "They're really, really well done. The likenesses are incredible. And you can just buy them on eBay. They're like $20 a piece. Buy those. We'll scan them." He had a 20 nanometer resolution scanner. We posed them to be in the cockpit, scanned them, and then digitally resculpted them to remove all the joints and everything. And then, of course, you're scaling this down to like 1/48 scale. So it's,
Yeah.
they're very small, but that's what we did. And then we printed them, and Jason painted them and put them in the ship. So we did Han Solo, Chewbacca, and then the two droids, right? The C3PO that looks like Maria from Metropolis. And
That's cool.
it's crazy. They're beautiful. Yeah, if you get a chance, Sean, you can show the pictures. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
But
Cool.
Blade Runner blimp, that's going to be epic. So
Yeah, when that gets wrapped, we'll do a whole nother thing on that because
Okay.
like we always, it doesn't have to just it's not just Paragon stuff. We
Right.
all collect too, so
yeah,
just like we can nerd out on the topic right now.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's why I'm
no
so
reason-
excited about. I'm excited about the spinner because I collect a lot of studio models. So this is like I'm dying for this, and nobody's done a good one. There have been a couple of companies who toyed with the idea. Jazz Inc. was
Yeah.
going to do a 1/6 scale spinner. There was somebody here locally where I live who was going to do a 1/6 scale spinner and do a run of like 50 of them. But none of those ever got off the ground. I mean, it's hard to do the R&D and develop and produce those, and then shipping is going to be hard. The pieces are big. I know Executive Replicas. They're doing a 1/6 scale version of the EVA pod from 2001.
Oh, that's cool. That's a little more manageable though, and
It's like
Yeah.
I think it's like 15 inches diameter, but it's a sphere, so it's still it's big.
Yeah. We're really, it's not lost on us. We appreciate how important it is to the community for it to be done right. So,
Yeah.
and then plus, you absolutely have to make it your own. You don't want to. There is no rob and duplicate at this level of licensing. Where
Right.
everybody, this guy's taking a best guess here, this guy's taking a best guess there, and then somehow that becomes canon within the community. We don't want to do that. We're
Right.
going to make it, our own as best we can to the reference we have. And again, once people realize who's involved with it, who's been drafted to kind of assist, I think that will that'll mean even more. So yeah, man, thanks for bringing that up. That's
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Well, then there's another piece I want to bring up, which I think is closer to fruition for everyone, and I'm really excited about this piece too. And speaking of things that are accurate to the film, the goggles, the night
Ah,
vision goggles from Jurassic Park. So